What's going on, craft beer lovers? Today I've got something real weird, at least by my standards. The Derby Days Imperial Rye Ale aged in whiskey barrels with mint. And so this is by Oddside Brewery. So I've gotten plenty of Oddside beers before, and their name is fitting. They make some pretty strange stuff, pretty experimental stuff. This thing is 13.8% ABV, so it's definitely something I'm actually a tiny bit intimidated by. I don't really know what rye ale is supposed to taste like. And it says, in honor of the Run for the Roses and its signature beverage, of course that's going to be the, what do you call it? The mint julep, I assume. It says, we brewed this amber-colored ale, then aged it in whiskey barrels. Notes of spicy rye, caramel, and fresh mint. That sounds good. I love mint. I don't know how I feel about rye. I mean that sincerely. I don't actually know. It's information I don't have yet. Now, they're proud of this beer. I got it as a single for almost $6. And like I said, I've actually been sort of intimidated by it. Now, I have said before, I like to talk about the experience of the craft beer that I try, because I'm not like an expert in tastes and the way you brew stuff. I like to talk about how it feels to drink this stuff. So I grabbed it on a whim. I definitely didn't get the whole 4-pack or 6-pack or whatever it was sold in. I don't, like I said, I feel sort of intimidated. It's the super high ABV. It's the fact that I don't know what rye beer will taste like, and I didn't really know when to drink it either. I'm like, is this a hot weather beer? Is this a cold weather beer? I sort of have split the difference, and I'm drinking it outside on a sunny, warm day for November. It's in Texas, so it's actually, I'm like sweating, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. So that being said, it's not nearly as hot as it was when I first bought this beer, which was maybe 6 weeks ago. It's been in my fridge, and it was cooking hot back then. So I waited. I thought in a way it would have been good when it was super hot, but it's that real high ABV that makes me question it. Because, you know, when it's Texas hot, I prefer maybe a 6 or 7% pale ale, for example, that I can slug back. I've talked about one of my favorites of that would be the Yellow Rose IPA by Lone Pint Brewery, and so this is really on the opposite side of the spectrum. Now, I just wanted to show you a little close-up of the can. It's got some cool art. It's maybe hard to see, but there's like horses. It almost looks like a oil or watercolor painting of you know, the Kentucky Derby, I suppose. And it has you know, an appealing, some shelf appeal. Not my favorite can ever, but it's definitely unique in the fridge. It sort of stands out for some reason. Anyway, if I can see the canned on date. Okay, so it was canned July 21st, and it's now November 24th or something. So that's what, 4 months or so it's been canned. I doubt that's going to be a big deal. This is not a style that I think is dependent on being fresh, super fresh. It's still fresh. That's 4 months. I consider beers kind of at their freshest in the 3 months or less range. But for the hoppy beers, for the IPAs and stuff, the pale ales, of course, that's a huge deal. To me, at least, but with something like this, it's probably much less important. Anyway, I guess let's crack it open and taste it. I think this video might be short. We'll see how it tastes. But as always, I'm gonna pour it on camera, and then I'm gonna go get a couple pictures of it for my Instagram page, where I put a bunch of craft beer pictures, and that's at Craft Christian Reviews on Instagram. Go find me over there. Actually, I'm thinking nowadays it's actually much more active for craft beer over on Instagram than it is on YouTube. Still, I like doing these video reviews, so I'm definitely gonna keep it up. But I really am enjoying the content that I'm getting to make for Instagram, and also getting to see what other people are doing. There's some pretty cool craft beer photography and so forth. Okay, so let's crack this guy open. I have no clue what I'm about to get into. I really don't. Okay, it's not like fizzing over. Whoa, that smells like a mixed drink. It doesn't smell like a beer. Wait, hold on. That doesn't smell like beer. That smells like a strong mixed drink. It smells like, yeah, kind of like, almost like a whiskey sour, I guess. I mean, it was in, these kids are screaming, it's crazy. But it smells kind of like a whiskey mixed drink, yeah. Which makes sense, it was aged in those whiskey barrels. Let's pour it, and I'm gonna get those pictures and be right back with the rest of the tasting. Okay, here we go. Brown color, definitely. All right, looking good. I'll be right back. Okay, so I snapped a couple pictures. It's pretty. It's not your ordinary looking beer at all. It's not opaque. It's not see-through either. It's a very... Ordinarily, I almost might say that color is kind of ugly just on its own, but with the way the light can come through it, it actually has quite a bit of appeal. And I really keep getting this impression of like a whiskey drink, which I think is what they're really going for, isn't it? Rye and whiskey barrels. Very Kentucky. It does smell kind of like a, I don't know. Like I said, talk about the experience, and maybe a lot of it's, see, that's why I think the can in the marketing, in the concept of the beer is much more important than just the taste, right? The taste is what, let's say 80% of everything, right? But your mind is in a certain place based on how you're set up by the packaging and by the branding and the name of the brewery and everything, the color scheme. And so I feel like they've gotten a good concept going here. This is really unique. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but props for making something that's on the odd side. And so, yeah, I smell like a little bit of raisins, almost. I smell the wood. I guess I'm smelling that rye, but I don't know the names of all these. It smells nice, and it smells not like a normal beer. So let's give it a taste. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. This is never going to be a daily drinker, I already know that, but it's good. Whoa, that is, ooh, it's still going. Ah, damn, yeah, you got to pick this up. Okay, it tastes like a mixed drink much more than a beer. I'm standing by that. It tastes like kind of like a whiskey drink. It doesn't, what the heck is this? A real, thick mouthfeel. It almost reminds me of like a stout in many ways. It almost has a stout taste to it. I guess maybe what I'm doing is I'm connecting the barrel-aged stouts, because a lot of the stouts I like best are barrel-aged, and maybe I'm picking that up and cross-connecting it, and so that's why it's reminding me of a stout. But the high ABV, the barrel taste, and the sort of thick, rich mouthfeel are reminding me of a stout. Now, it doesn't taste like a stout. It tastes like its own thing. Like I keep saying, it tastes like a whiskey mixed drink. This is nuts. This is as weird as I hoped it would be, and it's better than I thought. I like it more than I thought I would. Now, I think it's going to knock you on your ass. If you, again, it's almost 14% ABV, so this is 2 beers worth of beer in one beer. Depending on what you're drinking, it could be three beers worth of beer. But I am sort of running out of words here because... Do I taste the mint? No, I almost taste a chocolate. Oh, caramel. Okay, not chocolate. They're right. They mention it. They're going to get some caramel taste, and I'm definitely getting that caramel taste. Not a whole lot of mint, which I'm not going to say that's a shame. I would have liked it. I mean, I love the taste of mint in general. I think it's great in your alcoholic drinks, but I don't feel like it is very noticeable in this, and... as always, these kind of really weird beers, they make me think they're going to taste a certain way, and then you taste it and it tastes different than you expected, right? How would you be able to expect or anticipate what something like this tastes like until you've had it? And so there's that sort of, that valley or that trough between what you expect and then what it really is, and I usually often will have sort of a disappointing moment sometimes when I'm like, oh damn, this isn't what I hoped it would be. And then you start climbing up the other side when you start accepting the drink for what it is, which is often very good, just different than what you thought. This was one somewhere in between. I never had that disappointment phase. It was different than I thought it might taste like, but not so different that I feel like I'm completely baffled. Anyway, very unique, very unique. I love Oddside. Man, they did their Bombon de la Muerte, which I've talked about many times. It's one of my absolute favorite stouts I've had so far. Got 14% dark chocolate, super good. So I am going to go ahead and end this and say, get this if anything I have said sounds appealing to you. If you want to try something different, if you want to see a real interesting rye beer, you want to try a beer that doesn't taste like a beer, one that tastes like a cocktail. To come back to my original question of is this a hot weather drink or a cold weather drink, I think this is any time. it's a sipper, obviously because of the ABV and because of the intensity of the tastes. You're not going to be slugging this one back. You are going to be sipping it like it's a mixed drink, like I am. Probably how almost everyone's going to approach it. It's kind of spicy, caramely, rich taste. So if you like this kind of stuff, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. If you have any other beers by Oddside you've tried and you liked a lot, let me know. If you've had this one, you have any thoughts on it, please let me know. And I'm also curious about any other rye whiskeys rye beers that you've had. I don't really know what the taste profile is. This is, I guess, my first one, so I'm learning as I go. And like I said, if you want to go find me on Instagram at Craft Christian Reviews, come join me over there. I have the picture from today and all sorts of other stuff I really like. I really like doing stuff on Instagram for craft beers. So for now, enjoy whatever you're drinking, stay safe, and I hope I get to hear from you in the comments. All right, see you in the next video. Peace out.